Hey everyone, today we're going to discuss how do we write a feature document or what we call in product management as a PRD or a BRD. Uh, I call it as a feature document because usually in startups you have one single document that contains various high level information coming either from business or directly pointing towards the developer or the team leads, and then additionally the SLDC in terms of prioritization and price metrics. So I've, I've created one small document. This is related to a feature of having a filter option on Instagram Reels Explore page. And this document will basically not just speak about uh, business requirements, but overall what that document should basically speak for and how should it translate for our engineers. So each of the document will always have a background or a business use case which will support this document and will have some key motivations related what is the objective, what is the problem, how will be the problem solved, how is the impact, how is the reach, and then what value proposition are you basically solving in terms of impacting the top line of the company, which is revenue, or the bottom line, which is the profits. Once you have your key motivations and background business use case drafted, which usually either comes from customer request, customer success, leadership, product internal, sales, depending upon what type of feature or what type of company or what type of product do you have. Is it a B2B, is it a B2C, or is it a B2B, B2C product? And in this case we are speaking about Instagram, so it's a B2C product, and that to consumer user facing. Once our key motivations are drafted, we'll push our requirements into two phases. One is a release phase, which is internal to backend, and the second is the release phase where we basically build the UI on our mobile application. So while we are speaking Instagram as a company or Instagram as a product, the SLDC process operations are pretty tight. So backend deployment goes first in terms of building the field filters and what all data points are associated to the filter and building the whole schema around it. And then the phase two is basically building and deploying your front end, which will connect to the back end of the filters. And then we have our goals and success metrics. It's not just measuring impact, but reporting that impact back to the leadership or the source or the requester or the high level management of the company. Once you have your SLDCs or your tickets drafted for your engineering team to work on, then there is a product requirement document which will be provided to either developers or the team leads or the design heads to basically draft the solution around it. And then you have solution overview, what is the high level user experience that is expected, and design flows, which the design team is going to draft on the basis of the wireframes which you have built. Then we have user stories and acceptance document, which basically speaks of user stories and acceptance criteria and what are the key features. This document or this part of the document usually is translated for engineers who are going to work on the feature enhancement or the new feature development, both on backend side as well as on the front end side, which each user story will have a feature with a top level feature associated to it, and then we'll have acceptance criteria given on the standards of given when then solution drafting or user story drafting. Once your user stories are drafted, and then we'll have our high level reporting that will basically speak of how basically are we going to manage or measure the impact of the feature that we are going live with. And in that case it'll be utilization on the basis of consumers, and it's going to be utilization in terms of what type of filters the users are selecting, and then finding common patterns for enhancements or future rollouts. And once you'll have your high level reporting for either a third party solution, but we are speaking of Instagram, so they'll have all of their data metrics tracked internally. And then we have future scope in terms of what additionally we had thought in our MVP to test out hypothesis didn't went off in terms of our version 1, but this can be our future scope in terms of what our sellout will be in terms of this feature, and each feature has a motivation or a sellout, which is what this feature is basically, or what this enhancement is going to ease the user with. And eventually it's always about what the user, in companies which are B2C, they're very user centric, and in B2B they're more of uh, top line measuring KPIs. Thank you so much. Let me know if you like this, and I'll add one link, public link for your reference. Let me know how does it work for you. Thank you so much.